up, guys? So, got that paratrooper done I was talking about in an earlier video. So, wife picked out the dial, then matched the color of the dial to paint a bezel, and then I cleaned up the bezel to make it pretty. She seated the hands and went with a blue seconds hand to go with the dial look there and with the blue background there. Actually set the helped her, but she was able to do it on herself. Set the dial onto the movement, set the hands, and I did the crown on there. Crown's a little bit tough, and I seated the bezel. But she put the hands on, she put the dial on the movement, did the rotor. I tightened it, but just to make sure. And the stainless steel movement holder that's on around there. So, and I picked out the leather. I like to go with aviator style leather for this, but pretty much what she thought a build should be, and it's awesome. So hopefully one of you guys gets this build. The blues really pop with each other. Good look to it. So we've got a brushed bezel, we've got a brushed case, the hand painted accents on there to match the dial. That is a champagne with silver accent paratrooper dial, a silver handset with a dark blue custom painted seconds hand, removing the loom, Komandirskie style engraving on there, the star with the chevron, which is not the chevron on there. Date wheel on there, small window exhibition case back, silver rotor, stainless steel movement holder on there, and then a custom two-piece Italian leather strap. So bezel I put on there. That's what wrecked that hand, was getting this bezel on. It's on there nice and tight. No tension, or no clicking, only a tension ring. So just line it up pretty. Line it up with the 50. Or I'm sorry, with the 15. That's usually the best. So no clicking, but you can set it either way, however you want, dive style if you like. But it is on there nice and tight to maintain its current presentation. So these are an automatic mechanical, so you can wind them, you can wear them, or you can put them on a winder. So what we do before we wear them, which I just changed the date or the time on this thing. So since, what are we on? We're on the 26th today. So we're a day past, but I'll show you how that works. I'll advance it, I guess, 2 days. Unscrew the crown so it comes off the threads. Now you can wind it. If you do this for 4 or 5 seconds before you wear it, especially if it's dead, even if you're not very active, you will be active enough to keep it rolling throughout the day. Because if you're not that active, it's going to stop. So you want to make sure that you've got some decent pressure on that mainspring. If you wind it for something closer to 15 to 20 seconds, like what I'm doing, because I'm going to make sure this is running perfectly throughout the weekend, since we just built it. I'm just going to keep doing this until I max out the 31-hour power reserve, but you can wind it all day. You can sit there and wind and wind and wind and wind and wind. It will never put any more pressure on it than that max out 31-hour. If you pull it to the one and only click, you can now set your time. Okay, Google, what time is it?
3:03 p.m.
3:03 p.m. So you notice you've got a wobble crown. It will deflect any lateral pressure on that stem. Also, so it's rolling back and forth. So when you're pushing and prying on it, you're not hurting anything. Also makes it nice and easy to push right back over and thread right back down. So you can go from winding it to setting the time, but you cannot go from setting the time to winding it. You'll have to push it back in there, reset that clutch system. So how I got something on my screen, not on this. It's actually on my screen I'm looking through. So that date right there, there's no quick date setting. What you'll have to do is you'll have to drop it all the way down to midnight. Okay, I'm just going to tell you instead of advancing it. So you're going to spin that all the way around to midnight. And at midnight, that's going to change to 28. Okay. to go to 29 or 30, 31, let's say it's 7 days behind. You're going to rewind it back to 8 o'clock. Now you'll notice about 9 o'clock that this date wheel will go up in the air and then it will drop back down. Once it drops back down, you can advance it back forward, but you need to wait till it drops back down. If you don't and you advance it back forward, your date wheel will probably stay locked and never move again until you address it. So I go back to 8 because around 8:45, 9 o'clock, it does the drop up and down. And when you're going that fast, you can just put it right back to 8 real fast. So don't worry about it. Just run back to 8. You'll see that go up and drop back down. You'll go back to 8. Go back to midnight, it will advance a day. Go back to 8. Go back to 12, you'll advance another day. So on months that are 30-day months, you're going to want to do that every month. Obviously on February, or maybe you don't wear it that often and you're 10 days behind. You want to make sure that date wheel is correct. That's how you do it. It's I promise you, it's pretty simple to do. It's not the first time you do it might be a pain in the ass, but once you get good at it, then you'll be just fine. But that's how that works. No quick date set. That's how you advance your day quickly. I say I'm doing finger quotes, quickly is how you do that. So that is the build as a whole. As always, will come with kick-ass matching beads. Come in a special edition box. Then, as always, every build comes with glass and metal cleaner. This is good on all glass and metal, obviously. Non-streaky, non-toxic, non-residue. Since it has leather, you're going to get some leather conditioner. If this is ever getting dry, apply some, rub it in, let it set for a bit, and then rub off any excess. And maybe every 6 months, you'll do it kind of like how you do leather shoes. And then some fine scratch remover, because this is an acrylic glass. If you ever get a scratch in it, just apply a tiny bit, buff against it with your included microfiber, generate some heat behind your thumb. That will kind of quicken the process and fill that scratch in. It takes about 15 seconds. It'll feel like pledge on glass, or not pledge on glass, but pledge on wood. Nice and smooth, like almost like extra slick. But this is Novus 2 from Amazon repackaged. It's basically Polywatch. But Polywatch is $8 a tube, and I can do about 23 of these in my own tubes for about the price of 2 Polywatches and include them for you guys. So that's why I do that. So that's the build. Hopefully you guys like it. If you want to continue to see builds like this, like and subscribe, as you will get to see them probably every day. So hopefully you guys like it. Promise you it looks cooler in person. And hopefully one of you guys gets one of these. So appreciate your time, and see you next time.